I honestly do think too, when you are depressed and then you come out of the depression, for me, there's a fear of falling back into it and falling back into bad habits. It's scary, bro. It's like, who am I? What happened? I forgot. I was like asking people, have I always been like this? I had thought everyone had noticed that something had gone wrong, and I was so embarrassed. Legit. I was so embarrassed that I was depressed and anxious. Whenever there would be cracks and I feel like people could see that I wasn't doing well, I got super defensive, and that's when I was like ready to fight. And of course, someone being ready to fight, if there's another person who's ready to fight, you end up fighting. And then you get defensive off of all these assumptions you're making. People start to tiptoe around you a little bit. You know, I was ready for a fight. Over nothing, you know. It ends up being the people you're closest to. You're able to like act normal and friendly with like strangers. Once the cracks showed and it became too big of a crack and I kind of had to open up about what was going on with me, and then people showed me love, all the feelings started to go away. Love must be an antidote to like these disturbing little demons inside. The defensive vibe is hard to get rid of sometimes. So it would occasionally be there, but when I would kind of fight back, I realized I shouldn't be fighting this person. You know, it felt false. It became, the more love people were showing me, the more false my defensive reactions felt. And over time I was like, this is a figment. You know, there's something going on that like, it's, you know, I'm going through something. Definitely, I realized that. But it was hard to, it was hard to see that in the moment. I thought I was justified, you know what I mean? It's hard. I was critiquing myself so harshly that it actually did feel like I was being bullied. And I felt like a victim, but I was a victim of myself. I'm understanding that now. There are just these beliefs, these negative beliefs that get stuck in your head. It's hard to differentiate them from reality. I used to think my negative self-talk was merely an observation of the truth. I didn't think I was actively thinking poorly about myself and allowing it to happen, giving it permission. It was just habitual. So now I think just slowly living a lifestyle where you have your own back and you want to do good for yourself, even though shame is real and shame is a poison. It really fucks you up. It stops you from being the person who you probably want to be. I was thinking about this morning how long I spent and how much effort into convincing people to like me. First of all, it didn't work. I wasn't able to pretend like I was someone else. And then I developed this shame around who I actually was. And then that literally spreads into every other sect of yourself, your life. The shame just is an invasive species. You can't shame yourself into healing or being better. I want to try a little reset, but for real this time. I've never tried to cultivate a lifestyle that works for me and that I can fall back on. Since I'm trying to be better, I'm always asking, is this a good thing to do? Is this the best thing to do for me right now? And it gets a little bit tiring trying to figure out if I'm doing the right thing all the time. This is just an attempt, you know. I don't know what works for me as a routine goes, and I just want to see what works and what doesn't, and just try to build a good foundation. If I set up a life where I know it's good for me, I think I can kind of go autopilot and almost like just live more in my body and with my intuition, and just trust, a little more trust as well. So that's my vibe right now. I want to be grateful. I want to be happy. I don't want to be... It's like if I feel the happiness too much or I feel the gratitude too much, then if I lose it, you know, it will hurt more. I don't want to live like that. I'm trying to find things that I love and start by accepting myself, and then hopefully maybe a little love trickles in. I just want to try to be like really, just see if being your best self is like a real thing. I just want to try it. All right, peace and blessings. Love ya.